son. Where'd you find this?
Buckle up, buttercups. It's time to get down to business. It's the Totally Legitimate Business Podcast. Totally legit. Now, here are your hosts, Clint and James.
It's Clint James. It's Clint James. It's Clint James here, the host of the Totally Legitimate Business Podcast. We're your host, Clint James of the Totally Legitimate Business Podcast.
I don't know. We're Clint James. I don't know if we know that. Do you know us?
I just want to make sure that all the nobodies here know that it's Clint James. How you doing?
Nobody spelled like K-N-O-W. Like
yeah,
bodies.
Yeah, no bodies.
How well do you know my body, James? Like, could you?
You know, I think both of us know each other's bodies too well. We've both smelled what the inside of the other smells like so many times. Like I say, you really get to know a person, you know.
It's very true. Let's see. I've been to the beach with you. I've been to the pool with you. I've been on tour with you.
We've also been crammed in many a hot, stuffy room or van with poor circulation. And I'm a flatulent individual.
James, I'll never forget the first time that I saw you had nipple piercings, and I was like, he's even crazier than I thought he was.
Yeah, people always get that way with my tattoos, too, because not a lot of my shit's exposed. And then I take my shirt off, and they're like, oh, no. I liked you until you did that.
It's not even the tattoos. It's not the piercings that gets me. It's that you used to squeeze the cheese out of the nipple piercing.
I had to. Honestly, I'm glad that I did it. It was principle. Like any of the body modification shit that I did, it was all on principle. It was all like, could I endure the self-imposed stupidity of putting a piece of metal through my body? Like I have my neck pierced, I have my tongue pierced, I have my cartilage pierced. Like
dude, I don't have shit going on anymore. I have a few tattoos showing, but dude, like my like my septum, you can still see through it.
Yeah, no, for those we made permanent.
You and I were in some weird shit for a minute.
We made some permanent adjustments to our body for sure. But like we were committed to that. Like we were committed to that. I started stretching my ears when I was like 13 years old. Like that. We've been committed. We've been committed to altering ourselves.
Do you still wear earrings in yours?
Yeah. I still got plugs.
I just don't even wear them anymore. I feel like it's more of a story if I just leave them out. People are like, oh.
Yeah, for sure. You went there. You really took it all the way.
Now when I see somebody like, now when I see somebody with like giant ears and shit, and like, I just feel like they're trying real hard because I know how expensive all that shit is. And I'm like, oh, those are really nice. That guy spent $170 on glass, like 2-inch earrings. No thanks. But I don't know. Now the only people I see with that are actual tattoo artists.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was definitely of that subset of culture. That wasn't necessarily something. I think probably the most popular artist that ever got to anywhere with that kind of body modification was like Brandon Boyd. I remember like the first time, that's probably how I found out about stretching ears, is listening to Incubus and being like, what is with these earrings?
Don't forget, there was a period of time where Rob Thomas from Matchbox 20 also had big ass ears.
Really?
Yeah, dude. He got
big?
They were big. Like they were like over an inch.
No shit.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, there's another one, but still, it's like, that was not a thing that trickled into popular culture.
He was just trying to be alt guy. Brandon Boyd was alt guy. Like he spreads off and gotten tattoos, and he's singing shirtless and shit. By the way, I just got back from the beach. All right. The beach park. Let's call it the beach park. Right?
Beach park.
Whatever. It's like, it's not a real beach because it's fucking Seattle.
Yeah.
But to all the guys that just walk around with your shirts off and pants on, you're not fooling anybody. We know why you're there. Okay. Because we play this little game called Smash or Pass. When people walk past us, we smash or pass. No, it's not a purely sexual game. It's very judgmental.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's very fun, right? Because that's what you do with your friends anyways, right? You go to a show and you're like, look at that thing,
Yeah.
But mostly it's like us complimenting dogs and people's outfits. But sometimes there is a guy that walked by earlier. His hair was done up all nice. He was sweaty like he'd been in the sun, but he was wearing
Mhm.
full pants and no shirt. So he wasn't just out there like laying on the beach because you're gonna wear shorts, right?
Definitely.
He was wearing no shirt, jacked, full pants and shoes, and carrying like a big thick book. And I was like, "You're not fooling anybody, my guy. We know why you're here. So if you're gonna take your shirt off in public, just be real about it, okay? I know you're not reading
Bro,
that book. I know you're not
that
gonna ask a girl what's your favorite novel."
but hey, listen, that book could have been 10 Rules to Getting Swole. You don't know that. You know what I mean? Like, what? Maybe that guy's trying to get his mental swole on.
I'm just gonna carry around a book that says How to Lose Friends and Alienate People.
Yeah,
And just say,
we wrote that book, buddy.
I did. It's already
We
done.
wrote
It's
that book. Yeah.
published. Modern Grievance Publishing. It's coming out this
Yeah,
year.
no, for sure. That is a great idea.
Anyways, wow. That's a 6 minutes of bullshit from us. Way to go, dude. Way to go. Um, yeah, I don't know. I know we don't really have a ton, like a specific topic to go into, which has actually been nice the last couple weeks because we just had homies on, and then we missed last week because you know we're fucking doing stuff. But yeah, I know we don't really have a topic to get into today. I just know we've both been busy and doing weird shit, and I just figured we just kind of let it roll.
Yeah,
Let
let
the
the good times roll.
let the good times roll.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't been having a lot of good times mentally, though. I'm just gonna be completely honest with you.
I mean, at least you smile when you say that, so I believe you.
It's the only way that I know how to cope with it, really, is I've always been this way, so it's not anything new to me. It's just reaching like a fever pitch. Like my general confusion and dissociation from modern society and even just like most human interactions that I have, it was always high. I always knew what was happening in my brain wasn't necessarily reflective of what was happening in everyone else's brain. And not many people wanted to talk about the things that I talked about. But I feel like it's getting to a point now where uh, I feel so. My whole life, I felt like I was taking crazy pills. Like my whole life, I would look at the world around me in a much broader, more objective context, and I would see so many goddamn problems and logically simple solutions. Um, but just really is like it's always been this way, but it's getting even worse. No one cares. Like
Oh,
literally, so many aspects of society are crumbling around us, and we're all trying to pretend like it isn't. It's the recession shit. I remember a year ago, people are like, "Oh, this recession is crazy," and I was saying, "This isn't the recession. This is the
yeah.
beginning." Like now we're getting into the fun shit.
This is late stage capitalism
Yeah,
beginning.
this is just in the 1930s during the first financial collapse. That was shocking. And they put all these fucking stupid rules into place so that it would never happen again. And then some of those rules got kept, some of those rules got undone, some of those rules got changed. And now we're at a point where we have a recession every decade. Like every decade, there's an economic collapse. Does anyone see a problem with that? And the answer is no. Most people don't. Like this is one layer to this onion, but it's how long is society as a whole going to pretend like the infrastructure isn't crumbling around us? Like what's it going to take?
I don't know, man.
Are all the buildings going to have to collapse before people start to give a shit about this or what?
My question is, what the fuck are you gonna do? That's why I just straight up don't worry about this shit anymore. Cause like, I don't know. I've got limited amount of time left on this earth. I'm not the main character. I'm not the savior of the world. Most people don't give a shit about me. I'm saying in general, like not people in my life, but you know what I'm saying? Like random stranger doesn't know I exist or give a shit about me. So it's like, well, why am I trying to save them? They're not
No.
And recycling's not even real. Like,
I'm not there's a whole fucking scam for sure.
recycling is fake, everyone. Make yourself feel better. toss it in the blue bin, but it's going in the ocean.
It's going in the ocean. A turtle is eating that tonight. I'm not suggesting anyone try and save the world, because I agree with you. There ain't shit we can do about it. We're so far beyond the point of fucking peaceful transition that humans only know violence. Humans only know violence. We only respond to violence. Violent change is going to have to occur for any large enough number of people to turn the tide. I'm not suggesting we do any of it. I'm just saying my dissociation between that and my internal dialogue is reaching a fucking fever pitch. Like, I'm at the point where I just can't, my scope of the world becomes smaller and smaller and more insular and more insular. And I crave for a bunker. I crave for a bunker with no windows.
Just lust for nuke in a bunker.
Just I want a bunker. I want a bunker. And it's not like out of some like I'm not afraid of the zombie apocalypse or nuclear fallout. I want to be as removed from the majority of it. See, here's the thing. I say it as like it's my dissociation, but it's not my dissociation. What I'm annoyed with is everyone else's dissociation. I am looking at this from an objective point of view and really trying to understand the problem and why no one is fixing it. I'm responding to the input that I'm being subjected to. But the problem is that most people just choose other types of input like Netflix shows or TV shows or whatever, whatever form of escapism, video games, whatever form that takes it as. And I don't know, dude. It's becoming harder and harder for me not to look around at the world and feel like I'm taking fucking crazy pills. It's
I mean, yeah, I get that, but like, dude, like that's just gonna happen because that happens to me too.
sure.
It happens to anybody who thinks about things in a
And
logical way.
who lives in a society. And I also live in New York. You know, I
Yeah.
see it at a magnified scale.
We live in big cities that have like problems, right? Like here's I don't know. Here's a good little anecdote. So, um, obviously, anytime you get stressed out, whatever, it was like you should take a vacation, whether that's a fucking thing or not. But I think it's important to find little things while you're doing the shit that you have to do to make it work for you, right? So, example, I had to get up and I basically had to work like an 18, 19-hour day the other day for an event.
Ooh, that's a big boy shift.
Yeah, in Spokane, which is 4.5 hours away with no traffic and a normal car. I'm driving a U-Haul van, and yeah, luckily I was able to like whatever. But either way, leaving super early in the morning, driving across the entire state of Washington is crazy because it's like eventually you're out of the city and you're nowhere. Like you're just in the middle of some like you drive over snowy mountains into desert mountains and then into like farm plains. So being able to just drive that by myself and just be like, hey, I'm going to work. I have to go do this shit, whatever. Like I'm still just like stressing and anxious and whatever because I have to unload all the shit that's in the back and make a thing happen and then unload it and then come back the next morning, right?
Yeah.
Either way, driving and you just see all this fucking land. It's good to get out of the city and not, like just see even like think about the way people that live out there live because they don't have the same anxieties and stresses that we do. Of course, they still have stresses and anxieties of all the economic stuff, but it's not the exact same, right? Like their stresses are very different than city stresses. So being able to drive and just kind of separate yourself from all of that and then just like be on a fucking plane where there's no fucking buildings and you can literally, as far as you can see, where the sky meets the land and you can just look and make yourself feel really small and look out to the end of that and say, yeah, I'll probably never walk most of this earth. And I don't know why that that thought just made me like feel very peaceful. I was like, yeah, I will never walk most of this earth. Guess it's not that important. I'll try to do as much as I can. But like, I'm not gonna worry about all this fucking shit that like whatever. I immediately got stressed when I came back because I had like a parking ticket and bills and all the shit to pay. But it's like also I just like try to think of myself where I can just see the sky meeting the land as far as I can see. And just like, I'm gonna walk some earth. Like that's just all you can do, right? Like, I'm not saving the world. I don't have a main character complex. I don't think I'm saving or helping anybody in any significant way other than trying to make their day not suck if they're around me. And that's all you can do. It's 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 really easy to get wrapped up in, well, here's this crazy infrastructural problem with the economy or whatever. But like then if you get it down to it that much, and I know you don't do this, but then you're just an infographic person on fucking Instagram that's like, yeah, because of capitalism. And you're like, fuck you. What are you doing about it? Like, shut up. Shut up and just have fun. I don't know. Because you're not gonna be able to do anything about it. What are you gonna rise up? You got a tank? Because they're gonna bring tanks if you rise up. And then you're really
they're gonna bring drones that
Yeah.
are gonna erase any threat.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you seen what they've done to all of the
It
Middle Eastern
would be
countries?
merciless. It'd be merciless.
It will be the ways in which that they would vaporize your body would be spellbinding.
They'd bust out the microwave, crowd dispersement tools.
Yeah, like it just
It'd be super fun. We don't stand a
Have you
chance.
ever have you
Yeah,
ever left
again,
Stouffer's family meal in the microwave too long? That's what your body's gonna do.
that's what your brain will look like. Yeah, I don't. Again, like I'm not trying to save anybody. This world is fucked.
Yeah.
The best we can hope for is a quick, swift, painless death. That is the best we can hope for in this world. And I'm not trying to save anybody. To be honest with you, I used to be about making people's day better. I'm not trying to make anybody's day better. And here's another thing. That sounds great that you get out to escape into nature. I wish there was some nature more than the patch of grass that my dog shits in.
I mean, dude, trust me. It took me 2.5 hours to get to that point. 3 hours, but like also the fuck, man. I bet you could see something pretty within a 3-hour drive as well. You
Yeah,
know?
sure. There's no doubt.
We're going straight out of town at 6 a.m.
Yeah. An
Get out.
hour and a half. Yeah. I just need
And
to get a car.
and that's not saying that I was like, oh, I went on vacation. I went to go set up
you
an
were- you
event
were-
and
I
deal
get
with
it.
a bunch of drunk people for
I
fucking
get you, bro.
hours. Yeah, you know the deal. But it's like
You know.
it's finding those spots where you can like I'm driving back and I'm on like no sleep. I slept in a shitty fucking there was bed bugs in my fucking motel. Okay. Like and driving back and then it says scenic view. And I was like, whatever the fuck. All I do is go
You're
home.
only driving 50 miles an hour anyways.
I was fucking pushing that thing, dude.
How fast? How fast are you going in that?
Dude, with the U-Haul van, I was able to get it up to like 80 or so. But mountainous shit.
I thought it was a box truck. It was very,
No. It was the 9-foot one, but it was loaded with like weights and tents, and it was like
Yeah.
It was hauling for sure.
Yeah.
Long
you
haul,
see the
baby.
whole thing and it just says scenic view, and I was like, I'm just gonna go over there, and I just like pulled out. I just sat with a bottle of water and a little like complimentary shitty motel like pastry thing, and just sat there and just like, yep. Nature. And then I had a stranger take a picture of me that I put on the internet, which I'm
Cool.
sure you saw.
Yeah. A
'Cause
stranger took that.
What? A kind stranger who also said, you know what? Scenic view. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
Same
Wow.
way.
Life sounds so much easier out there.
Dude, hey, quit all this East Coast bullshit. People don't even smoke cigarettes out here, dude. We all just vape. It's great.
Yeah. We're evolved out on the West Coast.
We're on a higher level.
It's but dude, I've lived a lot of places, and I've lived enough places to know that there's pros and cons everywhere. Like,
I'm not explaining
yes,
anything to you. I know you know.
New York magnifies it to a certain extent, but anywhere I live, I'm gonna feel this way. I guess my thing is, I just hate how clueless people are. I wish people gave a shit. And it's not, here's why. Because if you gave a shit, you'd recognize that we're the problem. And if you recognize that we're the problem, then you have the ability to change the behavior, right? But if no one wants to accept that we're the fucking problem and they want to keep putting it on this group or that group, or it's everybody else but not me, as long as people are still behaving like that, and I feel like they will, because that's the society that we live in. It's a very me-driven society that we occupy space in.
Look, the algorithm is curated for you personally. Like,
You're so important.
It's the things that you see and
Yeah.
don't want to see that are going to get reactions from you. And that's literally all it is. Real life is not real life. I was like, again, I sat at a park today and just like, I was just sitting with my partner and my dog. We're just like, let's go sit in the sun for a second. Everybody's walking around outside just looking at their phones. I was like, there's a body of water right there. It's like, is that not cool?
I don't need that. I'll just look at my phone.
Yeah. There's plastic all in it, but it's great.
Delicious plastic
As I was drinking a White Claw, so
that you threw into the ocean when you were done.
Of course, no, I actually, I peed in it and then threw it in directly into the ocean.
Fuck you, nature.
I like this person commenting and says it's always the younger generation's fault. No, it's everybody's fault. It's our father's fault. It's their father's fault and their mother's too. Fuck them all.
Oh, we got our good buddy Rogue Anomaly checking out the stream. I mean, you do get the pleasure of watching a grown man take a shit in the street. That is true.
New York City, yeah, you do.
That is true. What else you say? It's always the younger generation's fault. See, here's the thing. It's everybody's fault. It's everybody's fault. And everyone wants to put it off on everybody else. And I can't tell you how many arguments I've gotten with people about how they want the keyboard warrior on their iPhone talking about, workers' rights globally.
Yeah.
Completely neglecting the fact that their iPhone is made in a factory, that they have to put nets outside the windows because the conditions are so deplorable, people just jump out of them and kill themselves. Foxconn, China. That's why Apple is trying to double down and open a bunch of shit in America, because that is some real ass shit. And any news source has reported on that. Unless we recognize that we are the problem, unless everyone chooses to look inward and take some accountability for their contributions to the fuckery that we are inheriting as a world, nothing's going to change. And I'd like to, look back at history. It's never been different. What's he saying down here?
They're just saying it. Everyone just places the blame on the younger generations, but it's not their fault. And no, I totally agree. Like,
absolutely.
They're inheriting shit that our generation is doing. And I'm just inheriting shit that our generation already isn't going to be able to afford houses.
Yep.
So like, what the fuck is my 15-year-old nephew going to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that kid's fucked. Sorry, man. Hey, buddy. Sorry.
You're fucked. You're fucked.
And some candy and a skateboard for Christmas. I don't know. Like, that's all you can do. Enjoy life.
It's
dude, I even remember, because I was even vegan and everything for a while. And I know we've all, whatever. It made you feel good about yourself. And then I started working for that vegan chicken company, which will remain nameless. I think they're great. They're great people, whatever. But after being on that side of things and actually seeing the logistics of being hey, we're cutting out this much meat consumption, whatever, this is what it does. You're not saving the world by starting a vegan chicken nugget company. You're still using plastic. You're still using
trucks. Got to move all that shit to stores.
Trucks to all the same stores that are doing all the same shit, that are still exploiting all the same workers. Yeah, it makes you feel good and it's awesome, and bless up to that company for the job. Great. But I'm not saving the fucking world, man. No company's saving the world. No one's coming to save you. That's it. This is, by the way, this is a really positive, uplifting episode. So anybody that
we're fucking doomed. We're fucking doomed. But here's the thing, dude. This is another thing. I'm just so fucking sick of toxic positivity. This is what I'm saying. The dissociation. Like I can't tell you how many times recently people have been like, "Well, you just need to be happy." What do you mean? I just need to be happy? Oh yeah, that sounds like a great idea. I'll just be happy now. I'll completely forget all of the things I was just telling you about and just be happy. You're right. That works so easily. I'm I want a real world. I want a world where we can discuss the problems in a realistic way, because when you discuss problems in an adult, realistic way, you can actually come up with some things to counteract or fix the problems, right? But if we don't talk about it, if we pretend that everything's okay, if we pretend like everything's an episode of the goddamn Office, then we're never going to be able to fucking have the hard conversations, make any of the hard decisions. Like, somebody always put this into terms for me. Who's going to give up a hot shower? We can take cold showers. If everyone took cold showers, we'd save on a lot of energy. But who's going to give up a warm shower? We live better now than any fucking medieval king ever could have hoped. We have indoor plumbing and heated showers.
Yeah.
Hot water on demand.
Anybody that ever says like, I was born in the wrong time, I was supposed to do this, is like, no, dude, this is debatably the best time to be alive, like as far as like quality of life for people. Like,
And America too, our quality of life generally is much higher than other places in the world.
I mean, I totally get slipping into the fantasy world. Like, dude, don't get me wrong. I like to put on a cloak and go to the Renaissance fair too. But like, like I'm not gonna
You can't live there. You
Yeah,
can't live at the Renaissance fair.
there's always the worry of like shitting too close to your food source, or and then like, oh, and then wait, the village dies or gets raided. Yeah. I don't know, man. Well, dude, you know me. I'm a pretty positive person for the most part.
For the most part.
But I think it's in a way that I understand what toxic positivity is, and I don't ever tell anybody to be happy. Just be happy. I always just try to tell people, it's like, hey, think about something that you're like grateful for, and not worry about a thing that you're like don't have or that you're worried about, right? And like amplify that and like spend the time with the things that actually matter. And that's where I get my positive shit from, is like, I don't know, going to do something I enjoy, or like being around somebody and not like complaining, And I'm not saying you're complaining, but it's like, it's people that just get like, they're just wrapped up in fucking everything. They're like, oh, this video game is really stressing me out. You're like, dude, that's not even a real problem. Like, like it's not a real problem.
I guess that's what I'm getting at. That's kind of what I'm getting at. Like, a lot of people my whole life have always told me that, they don't want to talk about these things. That's depressing, right? Hard things are not easy to talk about. And I think we're in a dangerous territory when we've equated depressing with away from the reality of whatever it is you're discussing. Like, there's certain things that we should be able to discuss freely and openly, without, that's a great point, Rogue. First world problems. That's my annoyance. Is everyone's caught up on the first world problems, and America is a big to blame for that, but it's not the only country that is absolutely I mean, even with like the electric revolution, like I've been seeing a lot of pressure on developing nations to be like, well, why don't you just go renewable? Why are you even trying to develop, industrialized, like old school oil and gas industrialized? But it's like it's expensive to do, even for Americans, to just convert their house to a completely renewable energy. It's like hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's a lot of fucking money.
Who's gonna sacrifice once people are born into that shit, right? Where it's like, I've got hot showers and microwaves and like whatever the fucking, like I could walk 2 blocks and there's fucking food provided for me, and it's in packaging and it tastes good, but it's really bad for you.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna give up anything, right? Like that's why I like to like try to learn things or travel, or I don't know, try to fucking like go out in the woods and see what I can do for like 2 days and just like, you know what I'm saying? Like bring some shit into fucking perspective of like, yeah, I don't need all of this bullshit, right? Like, but nobody's gonna give up their shit. Like
Yeah.
people aren't even gonna cancel fucking the third streaming service they have. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, shit,
I
I
might
guess
need that for one show.
yeah, I'm gonna keep the Disney Plus bullshit. Yeah,
The
you know.
Mandalorian's new season is almost out.
Dude, the Baby Yoda shit just upsets. Anytime I see somebody with a Baby Yoda shirt, it's like the new Tweety Bird to me. I'm just like, "Oh, you're that person, aren't you? Like, get out of here."
Wow, Tweety Bird. That
Yeah,
I love how that was like a stain.
smash or pass with that. Big pass for Baby Yoda.
So you're gonna smash Tweety Bird?
I mean, maybe 35 years ago, yeah, I would have smashed Tweety Bird. Tweety Bird now, can you imagine how old Tweety Bird is?
Yeah, feathers
No
must be falling out and everything. Yeah, you know, it's just, I don't know, man. It's just it's a strange time, and there's a lot of heavy shit happening, and I feel like it is concerning to me that nobody wants to talk about it. Really, that's all it is. And if that is the case, then I want to fucking close that bubble. I want to make that bubble as small and tight and self-contained as possible, because I really don't want to be interfacing anymore with the that level of dissociation. I'm sorry, I just can't look at the world that way. I guess really what this boils down to is I can't look at the world that way. I can't look at the world at like all the things and all the seriousness that's happening and just look at a sunrise and completely forget that. I just can't. I've seen too much. I also I've seen a lot more than most people. You have to understand, like, I watch shit that most people will never see. It will never affect how they view the world.
Yeah,
And
you've seen a
all
lot
the
of
shit,
you've
all
seen
the
a lot
shit
of
I
like
see
yeah.
is real. It's very real. It is the real. And as somebody who's been involved with it in Manhattan and just like watching the correlations of statistics and what I'm having to go do, you, there's this whole layer of society that most people they don't it never even factors into their mind. They have no idea the infrastructure that exists to make it so that they can go to sleep and not worry that their life is in jeopardy. Like, seriously. So I guess this is what I'm trying to say. I've seen too much. It's very difficult when I personally see the reality of the world every day. And it annoys me that people's dissociation from the reality is so great. And it scares me in the sense that there was nothing I could do before, but I don't want to get caught up in bullshit. I don't want to be affected getting caught up in other people's dissociation. Does that make sense? Like, I guess that's really my great concern, is that there's all this fucked shit going on. And when everyone else finally becomes aware of it, it's going to be a problem. And I don't want to be involved in it, because I've been saying that it's a problem for a very long time and nobody wanted to talk about it. I'll be goddamned if I get sucked into the chaos that could occur once some of these things start to really, like, dude, the recession just getting started.
Well,
Just
dude,
getting
but then
started.
again, what are you gonna do about it? You're not gonna do anything.
Nothing.
And
You're
I know
not going to do
I'm not
anything.
trying to say, "Oh,
And
dissociate from
you,
the office,"
no,
but
no, you and I, we're fine. We've already thought about this. That's why you and I are not going to fucking spaz about fucking inflation. I don't give a shit about inflation. I was cognizant of this when it happened in 2008, and I was stressing about the initial fucking financial collapse in the 30s when I was in high school.
you were stressing about the 30s?
Bro, that's when I started to
Oh, 'cause
notice
you're
all
like,
the
"Oh, it's
fuck
gonna
shit.
happen again."
Well, and not just that. It's like you read into the first financial crisis and all the fuckery that happened with the consolidation of banks after the first financial crisis. Um, Yeah, I hear what you're saying there. Choosing your battles for the greater good. I hear what you're saying there. I guess what I mean to say is that what is the greater good? What is the greater good? People don't want real. People don't want to because again, I'll go back. If it gets real, you're going to have to accept that you're part of the problem and admit to some accountability to the issue. And a lot of people just are not willing to do that. It's always somebody else's fault. Everything I don't like is Hitler. Like it's that like reductionary way of looking at it and lack of accountability that has led us to the problems that we're in. But going back to what I was saying about inflation, I don't give a fuck. We're fine. We're not affected by it. And when I see the prices raise, when I see my electric bill go skyrocketing, it pisses me off, but I have to pay the fucking bill because I need my lights on.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not worried about you or me. What I'm worried about is all the other people that haven't thought about this at all, that have spent their entire fucking life going around thinking like it was a 30-minute sitcom. And when shit gets really real, I don't want to get sucked up in those people losing their shit. Does that make sense? I don't
Nope.
want to be anywhere near any of those people.
Yeah.
I want to be completely isolated from any of those kinds of people because I'm going to be fine. I've already entertained the idea of waking up to the mushroom clouds. Like I've already taken my brain down all the possible ways this shit can play out. I've made my peace with all of them. I don't want to get sucked up into anybody else losing their shit over it.
I mean, if that's the case, maybe think about moving somewhere else besides like the second largest city in the entire world.
No, for sure. Trust me, we're thinking about it. Okay. But regardless, in order for me to do what I need to do, I'm going to have to live at least close to a city. Like there's no scenario where
dude,
that,
absolutely.
I'm trapped. I'm locked into that. And again, like I close that bubble, make that bubble smaller and smaller and more fortified and just leave out the stupidity. We live in the truth zone. I refuse to live in a fucking fantasy land. I refuse to live every day like it's the goddamn Renaissance fair. Everyone, I feel like so many people around me, and this anywhere I would live would be the case. Anywhere I have lived has been this case.
But
there's a reason I'm funneled into ranting about these things on a podcast because
there's
literally no one else wants to hear me talk about it.
But there's also a reason that the Renaissance Fair is so popular because there are people that maybe aren't as vocal or have podcasts about it, but they understand some of the fuckery that's going on and just understand like, yo, I hate this modern life. This is not for me. I'm going to escape for a little bit. Even though the Renaissance Fair is more expensive than living in general, it's just a carnival. That's all it is. But
Yep.
but that's why people like that. They like that escapism because I think a lot of people feel the same way. You're right. They may just not talk about it or whatever their reasoning is. I can't speak for other people.
Sure. And I'm not denying anyone's right to escape. What I'm saying is that a majority of society is living in the escape. And that's not okay. That was never okay. It was never something that was supposed to be the case. And we've been tricked by all the modern conveniences of life now.
I would say escape is not the right word. It's distraction. Can we agree on that?
But how do you draw that distinction?
I escape. I have escapes from things, right?
Everyone does. Yeah, everyone does.
But it's the other things are distractions. It is constant, like just having the TV on, having the constant stream of the 24-hour news cycle, having all this bullshit going on. It's a distraction, right? Like it is escapism to an extent, but it's a distraction from what it is.
But see, this is what I'm talking about here. The things that you do are an escape, but the things that other people do are distractions. No, we're not living in fantasy world. It's all escapes, and we're all allowed our escapes. Everyone should have one. Everyone should have a thing a place where they go mentally, a task that they do that brings them that peace. Everyone should be allowed to do that. No one should be allowed to live in it. No one should be allowed to live in it. And actually, yes, Rogue, this is a good point to bring up. I did break your tailbone in middle school. And you know what, Rose? I occasionally think about this because we were in gym class. He came up behind me, gave me a little gentle nudge with his knee on my butt. And then I went and I took it too far. And I went up behind him and crammed my knee. And I still feel bad about that. That's not even an exaggeration. That was literally a moment in my life where
So you know this person and you broke their tailbone?
Yeah, in middle school. I didn't intentionally do it. I didn't mean to hurt him. But we were playing a game and I didn't know my own strength.
James,
and I'm not even kidding you.
Okay.
From that moment, that's a pivotal moment in my life for sure. I was like, I need to know my own strength, and I need to be real smart about how I apply what I think is playing around. It's crazy. Like that I felt really bad about that.
And just so you know, because of that, here's a great segue into a different story that is also a distraction. James and I were working together in a mall job, and I guess James had learned this lesson of where to take it too far physically. And I was talking to a customer, and James decided to take his middle finger and just goose my butthole really quick, like just through my pants or whatever. But I was still talking to a customer, so I had to be like, and I was like, yeah. But
yeah,
he didn't break my tailbone. It's fine. And I also learned that you can like talk to somebody with a finger shoved up my butt, so it's fine.
That was a thing I did for a very long time, and honestly, yeah, because I knew I wasn't going to hurt anybody with my finger. It might feel weird. It might make you be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I used to do that to all my friends. My friend, my one buddy Sam, refuses to walk upstairs in front of me. Still,
see, but you know what that was for them? That was an escape, okay? And you provided for them. From the harsh reality?
Was it? You know, really, I know that it's a way that it's going to immediately make most people feel uncomfortable. So,
yeah, it's talking about real problems and putting your finger in their butthole. That'll usually
well, they didn't want to hear about the problem, so the finger in the butthole was the only other way I could get through to them. But you know, I don't want to get caught in other people losing their shit. I already went there. I already did the work. I already took my brain to that point. I understand. I've already zoomed out far enough to understand that in a objective view of shit, our lives are meaningless. We are but grains of fucking sand. Like even if we achieve something great, it means nothing. It's going to get washed over. You know, we're not going to be here forever. The records of the shit that we're creating, they're definitely not going to be here for forever. I don't think that that means life is pointless. I don't think life is pointless. It feels meaningless sometimes, but I'm a person who ascribes meaning to the shit that I do. That's why I do it. If I didn't want to do it, I wouldn't do it. So I honestly feel that once everybody starts having the hard conversations and really, taking a greater look inward, that's where like the good growth comes. That's where the good shit happens. Doesn't happen in Fantasyland. Fantasyland is fun, but it's a fantasy. It's not real.
I just don't think that's gonna. There's no way around that, buddy. Even in Spokane, I was like, "Oh, this is pretty cool." And then I saw 1 million people on the streets, and I said, "What the fuck's going on?" And a Taylor Swift DJ party just let out, and I was like, "That many people went to go hear a person play on Taylor Swift songs and dance it off." So if that's their escape, and that's fine, I get it. Taylor Swift might have a banger or two that you like to dance to, but if that many people are that into it, there's no hope for the world.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm not arguing that. I'm not saying we need to
It's all
organize
just
them.
the
I
office.
don't care. I don't care anymore. All I'm saying is I don't want to get sucked into their stupidity. I don't want to get sucked into it. So
You're already there.
I've just like totally doubled down on saying the things that are immediately going to tell me if this person lives in reality or fantasy land, and then just if they live in fantasy land, just really shutting off. I don't know. It's bad. I don't like that. I don't like feeling that way or like, but I honestly feel like it's a defense mechanism now. It really is just like, I only want to occupy truth. I only want to surround myself with people who are willing to have hard conversations. We don't have to have them all the time, but I only want to surround myself with people who are willing to have hard conversations, because hard conversations are where you learn the most, is where you grow the most, is where you understand your own thoughts the most. And again, it's not about the world. Fuck the world. Yeah, you're right. Ignorance is bliss. One of my friends always used to say this too. Life is painless, brainless, and it always pissed me off. Like yes, life is painless, brainless, but I want to feel pain. I want to feel pain so I can feel joy.
You want to take multiple shots. You want to do Listerine and orange juice right after each other.
Sure, whatever. At least once, just to see what it's like. Like I wanna be okay.
And then have uncomfortable conversations with people.
I want to know, definitely after that point. Yeah, definitely. Or uncomfortably high people. I love having strange conversations with uncomfortably high people.
That's why I stopped smoking weed around you.
But like I want to be
changing the world, buddy. You're making people change their habits.
Well, I don't. And here's the thing. Again, it's not my intent, but that's what comes out of having conversations where you're really pushing your thoughts, when you're stepping outside your comfort zones. That's what happens. That's why that's magical. That's why that's important. And I just I don't. I only want to. I want to close that bubble. If you're not willing to have a hard conversation about something and like speak to me truthfully and honestly, how can I fucking believe anything? Really, that's what it is. If we can't speak frankly and openly about anything, how can I trust you? And I would rather have 5 or 10 people that I just trust than 100 people who it was fun to frolic around Fantasyland with. You know?
Yeah. I don't know, man. You can't worry about other people though. There's nothing you can do about it.
Sure. I'm not, again, I don't care. I don't care about other people. I don't care about what they think. I don't care about how they choose to live their life. I give them the same freedom to live the way they want to live that I want them to give me to live the way I want to live. And it just so happens that the way I want to live is with the least amount of people whose entire existence occupies, fantasy world. And if we move, it's going to be the same thing there. It might be, subtly different. I might have certain pros that benefit my life and new cons that I don't necessarily have here. I get it. I've lived plenty of places. I know that. But
we finally start that commune we've been talking about.
Yeah, that hippie commune where we're gonna have Jello.
No, it's a grindcore commune.
It's a grindcore commune. Yes.
No, we don't play Grateful Dead.
It's the People's Temple of Grindcore. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we play Napalm Death. Okay.
Yeah.
We all have tie-dyed Napalm Death shirts that are just tie-dyed with blood and sweat and tears of people who posted Office memes online. And that's
oh, this is just like that episode of The Office. Oh my God, this is just like that one thing in the episode of The Office. It's so funny because this thing happened at my office and it happened in an episode of The Office. Just enrages me, dude.
I don't know. James, it seems like you need to just like touch some grass and listen to some ska. So, I don't really tell you, buddy. Yeah, life sucks and life's fucking terrible, and there's nothing redeeming that is going to just make this world a fucking great place. But I don't know, just like
dude,
you gotta let go of it. Maybe I'm a painless, brainless person now. I don't care.
It's okay. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. I'm saying it's okay. It's okay for us to feel fucked about the situation, because the situation that we are inheriting is fucked. It's okay. It's okay if we talk about it. It's okay if we feel these feelings. But if we don't talk about it, definitely nothing's going to happen.
Oh, absolutely.
If we don't talk about it,
But
if we pretend like it isn't a thing.
have you met most people though, buddy? You've worked with the public before. That ain't
Sure.
happening, man.
Sure.
So
and
pick
again,
your lane, stay
I
in your
don't-
lane. And if
I don't-
somebody gets in your lane, fucking destroy them.
yeah, that's where I'm at.
What I
Like
do.
I'm sick of living in fantasy, and I'm becoming more and more okay with just violently removing people from their ignorance as often as possible. And I don't care if you don't like it. I don't care. I
Violently removing people. What?
violently removing people from their ignorance with cold, harsh, undisputable facts. I don't care if you don't like it. I don't care if you don't like it. It doesn't mean it's not real. Everything you don't like isn't Hitler. I'm sorry. I'm not falling for it. And my favorite are the people that think that they have nothing to do with it. Those are my favorite. My favorite people are the people who are like, it's not me. It's everybody else. It's this group of people. It's that group of people. It's not me. I love explaining to those people that it is them. Those are the best. Those are the best. And you know what? If that crushes that person into thinking about it 1 fucking minute longer than they did, or maybe for the first time they ever have, then I feel like I've contributed something to the world. That's how I feel. Like ideas are powerful. That's if we want to have any influence, that's the influence you have. And we already do that. We've already been doing that. This is just what we do. We're always the people who are having the weird conversation, even with the, out behind the shows. We were having the strange conversations in our van. That's other bands were having circle jerks. We were having a weird conversation about aliens or collapse or those coffins that they were stockpiling in Georgia.
Whatever.
By the way, yeah, whatever did happen to those? I think they moved them.
Hurricane Katrina.
That was a whole big thing. I remember they were really getting after that. I just life's too short. None of this shit is guaranteed. And when I die, I want to be able to know that I always just fucking said the truth, regardless of how much somebody didn't want to hear it.
And it's like I said, when I die, burn my body so nobody associates me with the dumb fuckery that's going on in the time. So we found his body here. He must have just been exiting the Taylor Swift DJ night, which were popular at the time. No.
Yeah, they chisel it on your gravestone for sure. Yeah. That's so funny because when I was working an event, it was Winter Jazz Fest. It was the day we did the episode and I had no voice. It was the night before that. The same thing.
Yeah.
It was a jazz fest with a good crowd, and then that emptied out, and then it was a sold out Taylor Swift DJ party. Yeah. And it's such a strange niche thing, but
it's not niche, it's popular.
I guess, yeah. I'm sure there's one in Nashville. There's got to be one in Nashville. There's no fucking chance there isn't.
Yeah, of course there is. There's one in every major city. So, and since that's the case, I don't care anymore. I stay out of my lane and I won't fucking crush you. Cross my lane. I'll wave, give you a wave and say, hey, just so you know, we're doing stuff over here. Get out of the way. If you don't get out of the way, you're going to be fucking crushed. So I'm staying in my lane till the fucking end. And that's it.
You're way too kind, Clint.
I let them know they're going to be crushed.
One of my teachers used to say this, and it didn't make sense to me. It still doesn't, in some ways. She did something for me, and I said, "Thank you. You're too kind." And she looks at me. She was like super serious. She looks at me. She goes, "You can never be too kind. There isn't enough kindness in the world." And it fucked me up forever. That's another moment that that fucking stuck with me forever. There's never enough kindness in the world. I would often extrapolate. What if everyone was just 1% kinder? Like what kind of real world could
It would be
we
a
live in?
utopia. There would be napalm death dance party nights. Life would be perfect.
Maybe it wouldn't be a utopia. Maybe there would be napalm death cover band nights, DJ parties, and I'd be okay with that. But like, if just like how easy that is to shift. Like, what if everyone was just 1% kinder?
Dude,
You
it took
know?
me an extra hour to get home at the end of my trip, which of course it's like, oh, I'm almost home. Let's go. And then it's just like, oh, by the way, we're putting all these lanes through this mountain road that are 3 lanes down to 1. It would have taken 30 minutes less if all these fucking selfish bastards, where there were clearly signs that said, hey, ending in half a mile, ending in a mile, ending in, we're just trying to go to the fucking front of the line because they're important, and it's like, oh, you don't think that we're all got places to be? And it's like,
It's all about me.
sure. So like it's all about little things you can do. So it's like I was like trying to get over, and some fucker was trying to cut the entire fucking line and go up front, and I just like swerved in part of his lane and just made him run into the barricade to like have to stop. So I was like, nope, fuck you, dude. I was like, you're not doing that. That's my little karma for the day. Like, I let a couple nice people in front of me. They were like, hey, I'm just trying to get over. It's like, yeah, come on, join the party. I rolled my windows down. I listened to the new EP. It's fucking great. We'll talk about it soon. Yeah, but fuck the fucking Tesla guy trying to fucking get all the way ahead. Oh, you must be very important. You important guy? No. Have some barricade, you fuck. Wait
Yeah,
for 18-wheeler behind me to fucking pass you. Because he was also going like, like he was like, yeah. So fuck everybody who's not kind. And there's not enough kindness in the world. That's all I'm saying. And I will kill them. I will serial kill them. I will
You really will.
murder them with kindness.
You really will.
I've done it before and I'll do it again.
Yeah. Rogue, you can never be too kind. Just remember that. You can never be too kind.
True.
I'm not going to be kind.
I know.
I've already come to that I'm over it. I was kind for a long fucking time and nobody wanted to hear it. So now I'm just mean. I'm spiteful. And you know what? I don't mind it. You know why? Because spite is a great fucking motivator. You know what I'll do? I'll go to great personal expense, personal detriment to spite even the simplest of crossings. Like I have zero problem committing that much energy, time, or money to seeking my spiteful revenge. And I just can't be kind. I'm not in the headspace right now.
And that's why that's why this podcast is so popular, because we have this really great good cop. And that's why we're really killing it lately. So
yeah, and this is also another good point too. A lot of people mistake kindness for weakness, and that's a real shit. There's times where I've been kind and it's led me no good deed goes unpunished territory, and I'm like really regretting signing on to whatever I signed on to because I'm just getting straight up exploited. Like I'm sick of being kind. This world doesn't. In my opinion, this world doesn't need kindness right now. This world needs to be fucking realistic.
This world needs alternating shots of Listerine and orange juice.
Orange juice. Yeah. At least once, just to try it.
And then a finger up their butthole.
Yeah, it keeps you on your toes. Did you not button up?
Just imagine that.
You were feeling a little slack and relaxed before you got that finger, but you got that finger, you got that cold
and then I made the
swipe of reality.
And then I made the sale.
If I can take that finger in my butt, I can definitely sell this t-shirt.
All right. Is that a good place to end it?
Sure.
Everybody, stick your finger up your butt. Have a good time. Try something new. Be kind, but not too kind. But also, you can never be too kind.
Don't. Who cares?
Fucking destroy them and
fucking destroy them.
That kindness is not fucking weakness. And also, fuck The Office and Taylor Swift parties, man. I don't know.
Fuck The Office and Taylor Swift parties.
I'm a Parks and Rec guy, okay?
God damn it.
IRL. Okay?
God damn it. All
Have fun
right.
escaping. Bye.
We'll see you next week.
This has been the Totally Legitimate Business Podcast. With your hosts, Clint Gee and James Oliva. Executive producers, Clint Gee and James Oliva.
That's obnoxious.
Sound design, mix, and master by James Oliva.
Literally no one cares.
For more Totally Legitimate Business, subscribe to our YouTube channel at Totally Legitimate Business or add us on TikTok at TLB Pod.
When will this end?
Thank you for listening. Now get back to work.
Move it along, buddy.